I have it on we have it on the website. It's on the website, Common Core.
So, in other words, you don't know what it is.
Of course I know what it is.
You don't know what it is.
Okay, what is Common Core then? You school
because
me.
If
Please
you
school
said
me.
that
School me.
Common Core, let's deal with your definition before I tell you what it is.
Yes.
So your definition is Common Core defined as dumbing down black kids.
Yes.
And as an educator of 30 plus years who's worked predominantly with black kids, you're saying, in effect, that I am for dumbing down black children? Is that what you're saying? So you're going to insult me like that?
I'm not insulting you.
Okay. So you're saying that I'm for dumbing down black children?
Yeah. If you for Common Core, you may not do it. But you see, you are not
this
in charge.
This is the goofiest thing that I've heard.
But they have given you the text to do the Common Core.
Is that I am for dumbing down black children?
Yes. No, not you though.
You just said that I
was
for dumbing down black children.
I am for you're an accessory to Common Core.
Wait a minute. So we're doing some deductive reasoning here, right?
Oh, she's gonna
so here you're saying Common Core is the equivalent, or the whole purpose is to dumb down black children, and I'm for Common Core.
Yes.
Thus, I am for dumbing down black children. Tell me that, so I'll see you in about 2 weeks if that's what you believe, because if that's the biggest insult I've ever.
But then you're an accessory to Common Core.
This is the biggest insult I've had this week for somebody to tell me that I am for dumbing down black children.
Look, Marjorie, you are not the person that implemented a Common Core.
You just told me that. So let's get that clear. I think you better clean that up.
You're an accessory. Marjorie, if I am against leveling, I didn't implement leveling, but I am against leveling. Okay? So, being that I am against leveling, if you are for leveling, then you are for those kids in those levels not getting an equal education. I could make that assumption. It's the same thing. It's nothing different.
You know, you're really funny.
That's not funny. You could make that leap. You could make that leap.
It's more than a leap. But I think that first you should know what it is. And I don't really think that I have the ability to break it down to you, because you wouldn't understand. I've tried on numerous occasions. So I'm going to go ahead and let you think that it's all about dumbing down black children. So let's say here we have the Common Core Initiative. Its objective and goal is to dumb down black children.
Yes.
Okay.
And on top of that, to make you
should be like on Fox or something, because they give lots of false information too. So you're giving out false. So this is the second
you
time.
Want me to play the psychiatrist for you?
On false information.
You want me to play about the psychiatrist for you?
This is the second time today you've passed on false.
No,
information.
I didn't pass on false information.
But you know what? You've just totally insulted me. I can't believe that.
But I just gave you the example.
My whole life is spent.
But I just gave you the example. If I'm
you haven't given me an example. You did false reasoning.
Let me give you the example again.
First of all, the premise is wrong. You don't know what it is.
I know what it is.
You don't know what it is. And for whatever reason, you don't want to find out, because I guess that
the
you
studies
have
have
this
shown
kind of cognitive dissonance, and so it's difficult for you to perceive of something that once you've already made your mind up about it, if someone presents you with some new information, it's too painful for you to even go to research to find out what it is.
Studies have shown.
I'm not looking about what studies have. I think we need to find out what exactly the Common Core is. I think you need to find that out.
I know what the Common Core is.
I know you're telling me what you believe the byproduct of a Common Core thing is, but I don't think you know what it is.
I know what the Common Core is. I know what is the Common Core.
No, you don't.
The Common Core is a set of high-quality academic standards in mathematics, English language, literacy, These learning goals outline what a student should know and be able to do at the end of each grade.
Okay, so let's stop right there. Thank you for looking that up.
Okay.
Now, you don't believe that there should be guidelines on what students should know by the end of a grade. Because every educational institution out here has benchmarks. And so these are benchmarks that are set and standardized. Now, no one is telling you what to teach anybody. Now, maybe you should look for the because you have neglected giving me energy and my iPad is dead, so I cannot gear you to any sites. You need to look up a Common Core standard, let's say for grade 12 in literature, or English better yet, ELA, English Language Arts. And then on all of those objectives...
You want me to give you some practice tests?
I don't want a practice test.
What do you want to? What do you want me to give
I want you to find the standards for English.
Okay, let me find that for you. I'll find that.
Let's look at high school because I don't look at little kids. And find out what a standard is, what a student should be able to do.
About the standards. Let me find about the standards.
Let's find some specific standards there.
Okay. The Common Core, we already said that. It's a set of high quality. The standards were created, listen to this. The standards were created to ensure that all students graduate from high schools with the skills and knowledge necessary to succeed in college, career, and life, regardless of where they live.
I don't see anything in there about dumbing down black kids, but keep going. I'm listening.
43 states, the District of Columbia, it's not 43 states anymore because a lot of states have withdrew from the Common Core.
Keep going.
And the District of Columbia, 4 territories and the Department of Defense Education Activity have voluntarily adopted and are moving forward with the Common Core. For years, the academic progress of our nation's students have been stagnant, and we have lost ground to our international peers. That's true, particularly in subjects such as math. College remediation rates have been high. One root cause has been the uneven patchwork of academic standards that vary from state to state and do not agree on what students should know and be able to do at each grade level. I mean, we could go on with this. Okay, these are the standards. The standards are research and evidence-based, clear, understandable, and consistent, aligned with college and career expectation, based on rigorous content and application of knowledge through the high-order thinking skills, built upon the strengths and lessons of current state standards, informed by other top-performing countries in order to prepare all students for success in our global economy and society. I am totally lost. What does all that gibberish mean? What does all that gibberish mean? Can you give it to me in English?
Anselm, I want first of all, let me give you one English hint that the word is gibberish, not gibberish.
Well, we say gibberish in the Caribbean.
Okay. You keep putting everything on the Caribbean, but
you always cracking on my accent.
Here we go. It's not a cracking. It's just mispronouncing something.
It's not.
So I'm looking at a Common Core standard now. Since you were unable to pull those up, everything that you read, it's not gibberish. I mean, if I have to,
this is the corestandards.org.
It's okay. I'm at corestandards.org too.
Yeah, this is.
So I'm here at Common Core Standards, ELA, and Literacy for the 11th grade. Analyze a case in which grasping a point of view requires distinguishing what is directly stated in a text from what is really meant. So in other words, they want you to be able to read between the lines, what's stated and what is meant. These are.
I'll give
hello,
you.
Wait, I'm gonna. You can either rail on, and I'm gonna go back to rocking and yawning, or you're gonna allow me to speak.
I'm allowing you to speak.
Okay, stop screaming at me.
I'm not screaming at you.
Here we have determine the meaning of words and phrases. You understand that?
No, I don't understand.
You don't know what the meaning of a word or phrase is, obviously, as they are used in a text, including figurative and connotative meanings. Analyze the impact of specific word choices on meaning and tone, including words with multiple meanings or language that is particularly fresh, engaging, or beautiful. Analyze how an author's choices concerning how to structure specific parts of a text are. Analyze multiple interpretations of a story, drama, or poem, evaluating how each version interprets the text, the source text. Demonstrate knowledge of 18th, 19th, and early 20th century foundational works of American literature. By the end of the 12th grade, read and comprehend literature, including stories, dramas, and poems. These are just a tiny little smattering of these standards. So a standard is not the same as a curriculum. They're saying that these are the things. They set a benchmark on what a student should be able to do by the time he or she is in a certain grade or has ended that grade. For example, I know one of the Common Core standards is that by the end of the 12th grade, a student should be able to get up in front of a class and present to the rest of the class. A student should be able to read text or information. It's not always fictional, and I see one thing I do enjoy about this, that it doesn't spend all this time on fictional information, but I'm looking at the English language arts things here, but it's not always on fictional information, but in real information. So let's say if we were studying imperialism, you're going to take two different points of view and analyze and then argue which point of view that you believe is best by using your point and a counterpoint. Are you listening, Anselm?
I'm listening very
So
attentively.
we were talking about imperialism, one of my favorite topics. A common question is imperialism, was it good for Africa or was it something that wasn't good for Africa? So you'll have a point of view from the British and the French who came in and took over parts of Africa and divided it up.
This is all part of the Common Core?
Yes, it is. If you're listening carefully, I'm giving you an example of how you take an historical event and you look at two different interpretations of that
Based on
event.
the Common Core.
This is a standard. Listen, you're not listening because
I'm asking you a
really,
question.
you getting me.
I'm asking
getting
you a
me angst up.
question.
You're not. Do you understand what it means to say a standard? No. Okay. For those of you who don't understand, to say that you have set a standard, this is something, an objective that a person has to have achieved. So what we have to do in this case is I have to know one side of an argument, and then I have to know the counter side of that argument. And I will select which side of the argument best that I agree with. I have to bring up my point, use factual information, quote the text, cite the author, and then come up with the counterpoint and give me their point of view and their information and cite whoever told using quotations or whatever. And then I develop an argument. That is what it is doing. The Common Core, from all that I've seen and read, is teaching people, one of its major goals is to teach people to think critically.
Rather than just memorize material for tests.
Just memorize
Can I say something now,
material.
please?
And rather than just sit here and say that something is bad without giving any definition or any factual information.
So let me give you some information,
something.
though. Can I?
No, there is nothing you could tell me about something.
Well, let me give the audience some information. Let me give the audience.
Don't know about.
Let me give the audience some information.
So you can go ahead and give the audience some misinformation, and we will all listen.
Your information is good information.
No, because
but
I'm telling you, but
misinformation.
I don't tell you about running or Trinidad or mango trees, but what I do know. What I do know, I can tell you.
That's a low blow. Mango trees.
What I do know.
How did mango trees get in there?
What I do know, I can tell you. And if you have to either accept it or not. But I really, because you've just slapped me in the face. But I'm not going to try to.
But you just slapped me by talking about mango trees.
These are parts of your conversation.
But that's a low blow.
I am not. What's a low blow
mango
about
trees.
A mango tree?
Yeah, it's like, like I live in a tree house.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. That's like
okay. Well, you live in a tree house, and I'm out here to destroy black children. That was really a low blow.
Can I say this, please?
That's an awful thing to say.
Okay. Can I say this?
I think you should take that back.
Can I say this?
Only after you.
I take it back. I take it back. Okay. All right. The Common Core Standards was built on the idea that students should be able to think critically, rather than just memorize material for tests. Correct. Right? You agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. It's a good goal, right? A common core valid criticism of American education is that it focuses